Hello friends, this is Ralph, and in today's video I'm explaining the voltage processor of the Behringer 2600, the ARP 2600 or any other 2600 clone. So please stay tuned. If you are new to my YouTube channel and you are a beginner to the Behringer 2600, the ARP 2600 or any other 2600 clone, then please make sure you check out my beginner tutorial for the 2600. I put the link to that video into the description box and also up here. In my last video, I was explaining the sample and hold module. I also put the link to that video into the description box. And today we are talking about the voltage processor. Like the sample and hold module, the voltage processor is considered a little bit difficult, but there's nothing to fear. Let's jump into the tutorial, and for that we move over to the Behringer 2600. Now let us have a look at the voltage processor here. The voltage processor gives you the ability to take existing control voltage signals, manipulate them in various ways. You can also mix it with other control voltage signals and then send the output to modulate various parts of the Behringer 2600 synthesizer. We are going to work with this sound here. Let me tell you, I have an Arturia key step connected to the Behringer 2600 via MIDI. So what we are going to do now is we are going to invert the envelope modulating the filter. We are going to invert this envelope by using the voltage processor. For this, we take the ADSR output and plug it here into the first slot of the voltage processor. Then we take the inverter output and plug it here into the control section of the VCF. We take this slider all the way down now and bring up this slider. We open up the filter and now listen to the sound. Nothing much is happening, but now we are taking this slider here, controlling the CV voltage. So you can hear the envelope is now inverted, modulating the frequency of the filter. Now we are going to combine this inverted signal with a signal, a control voltage signal from the sample and hold module. So we take the sample and hold out and plug it here into this slot. And now here. Okay, so you hear now that the inverted signal from the ADSR is combined with a signal from the sample and hold module. If you use this or this plug here, you have no control over the amount of the sample and hold signal. If you want to have some kind of control, you plug it in here. And now you can control the amount of the sample and hold output voltage. Listen. Okay, now we can also combine these two envelopes. Here we have now the inverted envelope with a sample and hold signal. And when we bring up this slider again, we have the normal envelope. Everything is now controlling the filter. Bringing in some reverb. And then also sliding in some of the sample and hold control voltage. The first three sections of the voltage processor work pretty much the same. The thing that is a little bit different is here the last section, lag. And now let's have a closer look at lag, what lag is doing. So to demonstrate the lag slider, we have VCO number 3 all the way up in the filter mixer. All the other VCOs are down. We just start using a simple sound. Listen. Okay, now we take the square wave output of the LFO here and plug it into this slot. Then we take the lag output and plug it here into the FM control section, frequency control section of oscillator number 3. And we turn this slider all the way up. So you can hear, this is now a square wave modulating the frequency of oscillator number 3. You can hear the typical square wave form modulating the frequency. As we increase lag, we can smoothen the entire square wave, turning it into some kind of a sine wave form. Another way to use the lag of the voltage processor is to simulate some kind of portamento effect. I know we have a portamento here on the Behringer 2600, but just let's pretend there is no dedicated portamento on the Behringer 2600. So for this, we take here the keyboard CV output and plug it here into this slot, the lag slider slot. And then we take the lag output, go to VCO number 3 and plug it here into the keyboard CV input. So now we play the keys. Nothing much is happening. As we increase lag, there is being introduced some kind of gliding portamento effect. If you turn it all the way to the left, nothing is happening. As you slowly turn it to the right, an gliding effect is being introduced. I show you now another way. With a sample and hold module, we can create some kind of arpeggio. If you don't know what the sample and hold module is doing, then please check out my previous tutorial on the Behringer 2600 synthesizer explaining this sample and hold module in detail. But now I'm just going through the patch. So we take here the triangular waveform output of the LFO and feed it here into the sample and hold. Okay, then we take the sample and hold output and plug it here into this slot of the lag slider. Then we take the lag output here and plug it into the keyboard CV plug of oscillator number 3. So what I'm doing now, I'm using the sample and hold to start the arpeggio. Here we turn this slider down and now the sample and hold module is triggering the envelopes. So you can hear the arpeggio, and as I turn the lag slider to the right, I'm bringing in the gliding portamento effect. All the way to the left, there is no portamento. Turning the slider to the right, portamento gliding effect is being introduced. So, and finally, let us talk about the mult section here. Although I don't really consider it part of the voltage processor, but since it is in the same area, let's talk about it. With the mult section, you can duplicate and multiply signals. So I'm giving you a musical example. Once again, I have here voltage controlled oscillator number 2 all the way up in the mixer, the square waveform. I can control the pulse width manually. But I want to do it, control the pulse width via the LFO, that it's being done automatically. So, and the same thing we also want to do for VCO number 3. For this case, we also take the pulse output here and plug it here into the mixer section of VCF, turn it all the way up. So now we have VCO number 2 and 3 playing a pulse wave. Now we take the LFO sine wave output here and put it here into the first slot of the mult section. Then we take the first output here. That's now a copy of this signal from the LFO and plug it here into the pulse width modulation slot on oscillator number 2. Now you can hear the LFO sine waveform is modulating the pulse width. So, since we want to do the same on oscillator number 3, we take another copy of the LFO signal, plug it in here, and then also plug it into the pulse width modulation slot on VCO number 3. You can hear now that both oscillators, the pulse width of both oscillators, number 2 and 3, are being modulated by the sine wave of the LFO. And this we have done with the mult section here. Of course, if you need more multiplier slots, you can also buy separate multipliers, something like this here. Yeah, with this you can multiply signals, and also you can use stackable cables. I don't have a stackable cable here at hand now, but just Google it on the internet and you know what I mean. Okay, this is the entire voltage processor in a nutshell. Alright friends, let me know in the comment section how you are using the voltage processor, what kind of sounds you are creating with it. Please share your ideas with the community here in the comment section. If you enjoyed today's video and you got something out of it, please give me a like and also please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have decided now to make a tutorial about every single module about the Behringer 2600. And therefore, if you are interested in that subject, please make sure you subscribe to my channel, and also you may want to follow me on my other various social media platforms. For all this, I put the link into the description box of today's video. So friends, that's it for today. I hope I see you again in my next video, my next tutorial, my next YouTube music live session, whatever. Just make sure you subscribe, and I hope I see you again. Take care, stay safe, peace!